time for another adventure, and we're heading into the steepest national park in New South Wales. Would this be more difficult than our previous rides to Boyd River and Yerrenderie, just east of Abercrombie? One particular spot did have me concerned. You could take this from the north heading to Oberon first, but we decided to approach from the south, getting the highway section to Mittagong done just before heading down Wombeyan Caves Road and then across Goodman's Ford to Langs Road. There are certain traditions that must be upheld.
Oh, right. This song was... Do we make it happy? Yeah, we're cruising on.
Yeah. It may be the poor cousin of the Victorian High Country, but its deep valleys, steep gorges and rolling hills and dense eucalyptus forests offer some of the most breathtaking scenery. Notably, it boasts the steepest inclines in the state.
How's that view?
But there's only so much that a map can tell us, so we'd just have to make a call once we got there.
How are you? Hey?
That was a close one.
Yeah. Yerrenderie River Station campsite just down there, and we've been staying there for a good 20 years, and it's a really nice spot, really nice campsite, not too far from Sydney. You could do a ride where you finish up here, like do the opposite loop to what we're doing, finish up there, spend a night, and then you got a nice gentle cruise home the next morning. Or if you're wanting to test out motor camping for the first time without going too far, that's a pretty good spot. Generally speaking, Wombeyan Caves Road is often marked as closed during the week when they're working on it. They might shut it, and then what we've sort of noticed is that they open it up and allow a pass through on the weekends. From here we're going to go up Langs Road, Range Fire Trail, up to Mount Werrong, and then head west out to Abercrombie from there.
I think the amount of waiting time that you two have clocked up, I could go and take a dump and you'd have to wait for me and not say a word.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think you just glue a landing thing, like a big Velcro patch on top of your helmet, and it can land on there, and all you got to do is squish it down and then keep riding.
That's a great idea.
I know, I'm full of good ideas. Just ask me.
Right on the back there.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, this was the mud pit from last time. It was here, that's right. where we had that massive mud.
Yeah, just back there.
Yeah, just there.
Yeah.
It's all gravel now. It's all nice and...
It's funny how you kind of recognise it. Yeah.
Little snippets.
Yeah.
A lot of, I don't know where I am. Oh, here we are.
Yeah.
Range Fire Trail. Mount Werong Road.
Pretty rocky, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was way harder than I remember.
I think, yeah, it's way more cobbly and roughy, hey?
Yeah,
Last time, because there's more weather and it was more slippy last time.
I reckon, yeah, last time there was a lot more soil on top.
Yeah, just washed away.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're there. Ruby Creek.
You are here. Langs Road, then Range Fire Trail up to there.
So that would take us, what, a good hour and a bit? We're coming out onto this, are we? And then coming across this way?
That is actually half of it there, so we actually go this way.
Okay. So if that's all too hard, we can just turn around and come back here.
Yeah.
So an hour and a half from there to there.
Yep.
So that should be...
That'll be quick,
Okay.
because that's main road.
If the road's a decent surface, it won't be a problem. If it's
No.
full of rubble and shit, then
Yeah.
it'll be challenging.
Feels good to have had a bit of a rest. Sometimes when you're feeling a bit overwhelmed and over it, then a quick little rest does wonders.
Now it was time to enter the park. Once we found the actual entry point, the map shows an entry here, but it's actually just around the corner.
Map must be wrong. We'll go back that way and then go back up. Yeah.
Send Gary up first.
Yeah,
Because if he goes first, you'll go, oh, that looks easy. And he's got the lightest bike and he's the best rider. So
yeah, that makes sense actually.
when we get to the front, Gary, we're sending you in.
So far it's actually better than range Fire Trail was. Still, I'm meant to feel a little apprehensive. The only thing just don't know how steep this steep is, how accurate the maps are, because it's quite possible the map is actually not 100% accurate. But it's also its surface. You know, if the surface is rough and rocky, that just makes everything so much more difficult. So this is Middle Fire Trail, and for the most part it is pretty straightforward, but there is one section that drops down to the creek. It drops from 730 meters up at Hickory's Knob down to the creek at 600. However, the first part is a ratio of 10 to 1, so for every 10 meters you're dropping 1 meter. But the second section is doubles that. It's twice as steep at 4.5 to 1. So you're dropping 1 meter every 4.5 meters instead, which, you know, on paper doesn't seem that much. Once we drop down into that, get down into that creek, that's not even the steep part. The steep part's getting back out the other side. What do we do about it? Well, the plan is, let's go and see what it looks like. If we think we can get back up it, then we can proceed. Down there goes to the licking hole.
The licking hole.
Not sure if I want to go to the licking hole with you boys.
Go on, you're not getting so honest, are you?
I haven't had any alcohol yet. I've still got my inhibition. Right. Gully of Doom.
Yep, so we just keep going that way, and then we're going to turn right in 7 Ks. This is all still not the hard bit.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, no, it's good.
yeah. Are you happy to go in front, Gary? Or?
Yeah, all good, mate.
'Cause you're not eating dust then?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Note to self, goggles next time. Found today, even when I'm kind of going, oh shit, I've got to just like loosen up. As you're having an oh shit moment, you tend to stay on the inside of the bike. But if you get onto the outside, the bike tends to steer much nicer around the corner, like, you know. So when you're having that all shit moment, you've got to kind of override your natural instinct to kind of stay on the inside of the bike instead. In between mild panic attacks, this is quite fun. Whee. Alright. Now, I'm looking straight ahead, going, okay, well there's plenty of room. I've got a nice gradual slope on the other side. I don't need to focus on, is the bike going faster than I want it to go? It probably is because of the steepness, but I can see where I'm going to end up on the other side, and it's perfectly fine. So let the bike go a little bit faster. Yeah.
Is this it?
No,
All right.
it's just an intersection.
Yep.
And then we get to a point where it just drops down to a creek, which is not the creek that we're staying at.
Right.
Then we've got to go back up the other side.
Yeah.
So we need to make a call when we get to Hickory's knob, which is not far away.
Oh.
Because we've got to look down
Whenever
and
Gary
go,
gets to a knob, he always goes further. You got to know that about Gary. He'll only stop when it hurts. So if he's in the lead, we're following him.
Yeah.
Let's go. That was all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I was locking up down there, but as long as you...
Yeah.
So that's not the steep bit.
All right.
The steep bit's further down.
We'll keep going until it gets too steep then.
Yeah. There was one of those whoop things back there I had to back off for. I was like hammering along in third gear, and it's like, oh!
Ooh. Got to jump.
Alright, we good?
Yeah, I think so.
isn't this where we would have discussed whether to continue or not? At this point, if Gary hadn't already pushed on down, I probably would have turned back.
Huh?
Good? Remember,
I have to admit, Matt's unfaltering desire to just keep going was starting to irritate me a little.
you're looking like going down back there, you're looking good.
Yeah. Doesn't mean I like it.
That's all right. Lean back, where you want to go.
Would you go right or left?
Right, I reckon.
Yeah? A lot more rocks on the right side.
My front wheel, is your front wheel locking up?
Nah,
Mine is. I mean, ABS is going up, it's not going down.
I don't have it.
Oh, okay. Right, so you got bottom.
Now I've ended up in a, you know what, I'm gonna go. Yeah, no, I've just, I'm gonna use the clutch because I've ended up in a crap spot. It's gonna get past these rocks and then. No, I'm using the clutch as a rear brake. Yeah, I'm just trying to get back up onto here. And then it stalled. And then because it stalled, it just suddenly stopped, and I just managed to catch it, but that was worked out well. Hey? I was using the clutch as a rear brake. Now it's not going to start. Oh shit!
How much damage did that fall cost me, and what complications did it add? Part 2 will reveal all, but at least it's not raining.